Hi everyone, this is my C2C video for MID 804 discussing big ideas for instructional design. So the three main ideas. Big takeaway number one, the importance of universal design for education. Big takeaway number two, models of instructional design. And big takeaway number three, visual thinking. So first, the importance of universal design for education in the field of instructional design contributes to a diversified approach to instruction which seeks to create an experience that is equally accessible to all students as possible. Burgstahler states that UD has been applied to many educational products, computers, websites, software, textbooks, and lab equipment, and environments, such as dormitories, classrooms, student union buildings, libraries, and distance learning courses. Unlike an accommodation for a specific person with a disability, the practice of UDE benefits all students, including those who are not receiving disability-related accommodations from the school. So, the principles as discussed by Burgstahler are equitable use. Students with known disabilities, as well as those without, should be able to effectively learn from the provided course materials equally. Burgstahler states that the design is useful and marketable to people with diverse abilities. A website that is designed so that it is accessible to everyone, including people who are blind, employs this principle. Next is flexibility in use. Simply evaluating students for one individual skill, such as writing and grammar, marginalizes students who fully comprehend the information, but their writing skills may not be as strong as other students. Cornell University states that since learners vary in their abilities to demonstrate their learning in different ways, this principle means providing flexible and multiple ways to allow for students to express their knowledge or demonstrate their skills. For example, providing students an option of writing a final exam or submitting a final assignment. Students can also be encouraged to be creative and make an infographic, a video, or a slides presentation to effectively demonstrate their learning. Third is simple and intuitive use. Unnecessary wordiness or needless design functions embedded into learning materials can be a distraction and a burden upon students. Simple, straightforward design allows for the greatest ease of use by all students. Also, having multiple users test drive a course or assignment before it is formally presented to a class increases the likelihood that students will fully understand any given assignment. 4. Perceptible information. Only necessary information is provided. Superfluous additions are weeded out in order to maximize clarity. The fifth principle of universal design is tolerance of error. The design minimizes hazards and the adverse consequences of accidental or unintended actions. An educational software program that provides guidance when the user makes an inappropriate selection employs this principle, stated by Burgstahler in 2021. Sixth principle, low physical effort. When thinking about physical space outside of e-learning, a person's physical abilities or lack thereof should not adversely affect their ability to access or interpret course materials. And in many ways, this can be applied to online learning as well. And the seventh principle, size and space for approach and use. Again, physical disabilities or a person's size should not negatively impact their learning experience. Ensuring that everyone has enough comfortable space is vital to this idea, and UD accounts for these factors in advance. So ultimately, universal design for education promotes everyone's right to learn and to be evaluated fairly, regardless of their unique backgrounds, abilities, learning styles, and skills. So for big takeaway number 2, next, a successful instructional designer must consider the many models of instructional design to determine which one best suits their needs. This may change over time depending on the group of learners or the course delivery method. These models help an instructional designer to assess and create the most appropriate, effective, and successful learning experience possible for their stakeholders. Burton states that following a proven process to design your course will equip you with best practices for creating learning materials and activities that help students acquire and retain new knowledge or skills, and do so in an engaging, enjoyable way. Instructional design models take the guesswork and trial and error out of course creation. Following a set of guidelines developed and tested by renowned educators will help you get to the best possible outcome with the least effort. For example, the ADDIE model is one of the most well-known and frequently used instructional design models. The 5 design steps in this model are: to analyze first. This is the research step. The course designer must analyze what this course is about, determine course objectives, and how to achieve them. This is the step where you are reviewing existing materials, searching for knowledge gaps, and determining what factors worked well or not so well, stated by Nunnally. Second step is design. The design step thinks about who the course is being designed for. Questions can be asked such as, what learning barriers do the students face? How can the course be made accessible for different learning needs? What learning sequence will be used? This is also a good time in the ADDIE process to begin storyboarding. Third step, development. Development is prime for trial and error. A course designer begins putting all the pieces together and determining what works best during the development phase. Nunnally states that we should check for accuracy of content, the look, the feel, flow of the course, and then you will be ready to implement. Feel free to spend time here testing different layouts and visual elements to make sure that the course content is easy to digest. The fourth step is then to implement. The implementation step is when content is imported into a learning management system, such as Blackboard or Canvas, and the designer checks for potential errors or quality issues. Nunnally states that these factors are important to account for when implementing a course. First, students can find the course, then they can enroll. Course content is easy to access after enrollment. Integrations work properly. Any live stream or notification reminders go out without fault. Instructors can view registration and engagement analytics. Certificates or reports post-course are downloadable and custom to each student. And there is a clear, identified way for students to ask questions to the instructor, and the instructor can then respond. Then the last step in the ADDIE process is to evaluate. Evaluation occurs at the end of the process, but also continuously throughout. There's always room for improvement, so designers must be open to feedback and making updates. Assessment data is vital to this phase, making a positive impact upon the course. This is important to ensure that features are always working, the course content aligns with students' expectations and learning goals, and instructors are able to efficiently engage with students. And the last big takeaway focuses on visual thinking. Visual thinking presents ideas to students via images or video. Some may recall the allure of picture books as children. Pictures can catch the viewer's attention, assist with understanding and information retention, and bring stories to life. Ebner and Brough states that our brains are wired to rapidly make sense of and remember visual input. Visualizations in the form of diagrams, charts, drawings, pictures, and a variety of other ways can help students understand complex information. A well-designed visual image can yield a much more powerful and memorable learning experience than a mere verbal or textual description. Visual thinking can be implemented in course design through required course materials and student assignments. Providing additional resources to complement text-based materials, such as accompanying videos on any given topic or interactive multimedia games, allow students who learn better visually or even auditorily a better opportunity to understand the course content. Asking students to complete a graphic design project, a slides presentation, an infographic, or a video are creative ways to alternatively complete otherwise traditional writing assignments. And here are my references. That concludes my presentation on big ideas in instructional design. Thank you for watching.